say it. Carlos Arrieta is calling a competition timeout. So again, that is an NGK competition timeout. Speaking of NGK, NGK makes ignition coils. Yeah, why? Well, because they prefer a running partner that can keep pace. We know ignition, and since our spark plugs don't run alone, we put some of our own energy and expertise into making a better coil. NGK ignition coils are engineered to OE durability and performance, and because we race to win, we continue to improve the design, testing and validation of our ignition coils to make installation easier and performance better. NGK spark plugs and coils better together. So we're moving on, and we are seeing cars pull out of our Pedal Commander burnout box, and looks like that is Medici. Medici right now pulling out, and Brian Wadman on the start line. So Erick Medici, a newcomer here coming to us from Brazil, and Wadman from New Hartford, Connecticut. Wadman will lead, qualifying 7th, Medici qualifying 26th. Hush falls over the crowd, getting ready for this battle. Again, Arrieta calling timeout against Evan Bogovic. And here comes Wadman and Medici. Wadman, that Liqui S chassis, hopping their way into that first outside zone. Just barely gets in there and exits out of that first outside zone into the second outside zone. Medici, look at that, surging forward, gets in that sweet spot, but unfortunately backs off. So mild to wild, and quickly goes to mild as he parks it there on that second outside zone. And Wadman, Liqui celebrating a little bit mentally, but the fight is still not over against Medici, even though he did rotate.
Yeah, that surging attack there from Medici looks like it did not pay the dividends that he wanted to get out of this run. And Wadman was not starting off with the greatest lead. He kind of comes up shallow on that first outside zone. Medici putting the pressure on, and then right here you can see the rear end just starts to slide out. He's unable to hold it, no contact there. And it looks like that the fault will be on him for the spin. Here it is from the drone. You can see a lot of drivers still having a tough time getting into outside zone 1 as deep as they can. And when you have low angle like that and then you start angling up, that rear end can spin out, and that's what happens there to Medici. So unfortunately, he will have an incomplete on run 1, and it's going to be a big hill to climb here to get out of the Brian Wadman situation, where Brian really just kind of has to be patient here, not make any big mistakes, and know that his opponent has an incomplete.
Wadman will chase him down. Medici, as you said, deficit, climb himself out of this hole, but you never know. You just gotta keep fighting. And here we go with Medici out front. Wadman in the chase position. I'm feeling Medici's gonna throw down really aggressively. That thing firing off. You can see just blasting underneath the chassis. And then second outside zone. Oh, and he's gonna loop it again. Hopefully he saves the car, and yes he does. So unfortunately Medici obviously having some issues, so Wadman will be getting the victory.
Yeah, and Wadman was scaring me there for a little bit in the chase position, because his initiation got to the point where I was like, oh man, he might be initiating a little bit too late. He started to kind of roll into it. Wasn't an aggressive initiation. He does get to angle, and you can see right here he's giving himself a gap. He knows that he's sitting on an advantage, but Medici right there, almost in the same place, maybe about 30 or 40 yards after that, spins out once again, and it's going to be an easy win here for Brian Wadman.
Yeah, very unfortunate situation for him as Wadman and Medici slide him left for Brian Wadman. Brian Wadman gets the victory. The Liqui S chassis. Medici, mild to wild, got a little Drift HQ love on the back. Is unfortunately knocked out. All right, so Carlos Arrieta had a competition timeout.